Hey everybody, how you guys doing today? Hope everyone's having a good week so far. Everybody's learning. Hopefully you guys are watching, the right movie instead of the line here. Hopefully we're watching, the background. Watching these guys get fucked. Feeling pretty good right now though. I mean, we're watching pretty much the timeline play out, and we're going to go over that real quick. We'll go over a whole bunch of things here. But we should be feeling pretty good right now, guys. The pressure is mounting and mounting more and more every single day on these guys, so I'm feeling pretty good actually. Everybody, make sure if you smoke, go ahead and roll a Volsky here. I'm gonna be live for about an hour and maybe 10 minutes, 20 minutes. But if you drink, go ahead, pour a shot. Let's go. I'm gonna wait about 2 more seconds here. Let some people get in here, and I'm gonna hit this button quick, and we'll get started after that. About 2 seconds here. Yeah, it's a barcode, dude. That shit's... Dude, they have nothing else to do, man. They're so fucked. MC, thank you, man. Appreciate it. They're so fucked, dude. There's really nothing they're going to be able to do at this point. Look what he's drawing up. I had Peter Hahn on last time. Me and him had a good conversation, and... I mean, I love learning from that guy. He's insanely intelligent. He had a couple counterpoints to a couple things I had, and I had a couple of counterpoints to his things, after we talked again, and I love hearing his point of view. But yeah, I agree with, the housing market in Canada and all these things. There's about to be a bunch of problems here in the world that are just going to have, like I said, this massive, massive ripple effect throughout this entire world. It's going to be insane, dude. But we're going to talk about phase 6. A lot of people, when's phase 6, my timeline, the thing I've been talking about, and what, these last couple months, what I've been saying is going to happen, and what do I think is going to happen down the line. And, sorry, I just had to move that thing there real quick. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and go over my timeline. We're going to go over from what I thought would start happening the moment phase 6 went live. Why does phase 6 matter? And, Peter went over it. We're going to go over Isda. Today you're going to listen to Isda members. We're going to listen to a couple things that, phase 6 is a big deal. And I hate that you got these clowns now like Froggy. He's going to talk about phase 6, how it doesn't matter. But yet I have people that work in the industry come in and talk about how phase 6 matters and how it's having an effect. Phase 6 is a massive deal. And anyone that downplays it knows absolutely nothing about the market. I have no time for them. But let's get into this real quick. So, what is phase 6 and why does it matter? It's margin requirements now in the derivatives market. The derivatives market, as I've been going over for the last 8-9 months, I mean, we have it estimated at around 2.5 quadrillion. That's insane. That's literally a number that should never be fathomable. But that's in existence. Man, yeah, and everybody, I'm never going to sell you guys something. I'm never going to tell you to go into crypto or all that crap. There's like 12 or 13 imposter bigums going on right now. They're coming at me pretty fucking hard. So just know that, there's only one, man. If it's not the one profile, it's definitely not me. But I've had a lot of people asking me like, why should I really sell this stuff? And I'm like, dude, you got the wrong thing, man. You're looking at the wrong thing. But let's get back into this quick. So you have 2.5 quadrillion that we're going to get into. This is where everything's been hidden. This is where they throw all their bad assets. This is how they can have their credit where they can still have it intact, where they can go ahead and keep borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. This is where they throw all of their bad assets. This is all done through Isda. Everybody talks about shell companies lately. How do you guys think they move it over to these shell companies? They do it through Isda agreements. So let's get into what's going to happen now. So when we first started talking about phase 6, one of the biggest things that happened with phase 6 is you're now having a third party for the first time ever. They watch these master agreements. And what a master agreement is it's two Isda members that make a trade. That's all it is. It's just a trade. But before phase 6 and all of these other new margin requirements and this third party now overseeing this used to be done on paper. So obviously you could abuse the hell out of this. You had the DTCC, who is the oversight of this. Well, guess what? The DTCC is the ones writing the contracts. So this is where they were all able to just go ahead and dump it and dump it and dump it. And why these banks have so much exposure in the derivatives market. Because they could just keep taking all this exposure, and they could keep saying, you know what, it's fine, we'll just keep taking fees, keep taking fees, keep taking fees. Just like you're going to see in the Archegos case that we'll get into in a minute here as well. So, what's going on now is you have a third party overseeing all of these transactions, all of these master agreements. Back in the day, there used to be no deposit. It was called a credit support annex. This just showed you had collateral. It didn't mean that you had to deposit that collateral. So people were using the same collateral on multiple master agreements. They were able to hide their true exposure. They're also able to open sizes of bets like family offices and Archegos that they should have never had access to. If people knew the true size of their positions, they would have never had the ability to do this. It's a whole bunch of gray areas, of course. This also talks about bad assets, junk bonds, and all these things that they just can't get rid of in the meantime. So what they'll do is they'll push it into this market. This is the market where everybody says, where is our MOASS money? It is right here. Now, with these, we're going to get into Isda here as well. We're going to get into a video, and we're going to get into this repository, regulatory system, which is huge. Like, there are massive steps coming forward. So much pressure that's going to start happening to these guys. This is everything we needed to start happening. Now, when Phase 6 happened, COVID exemptions stopped. They had COVID exemptions where they could not, literally, could not margin. They couldn't margin anyone. Now, these exemptions are ended. This is a big deal with Phase 6. Now, I want to play this one clip here real quick for everybody before I keep going. Let me just make sure my stuff is set up. Pretty sure this is right here.
It seems Phase 6 will be with us for some time yet. The importance of being well prepared and having sufficient liquidity to meet margin requirements was brought into sharp focus later in September when a brutal sell-off in the UK gilt market following a government mini-budget left UK pension schemes facing huge variation margin calls on their derivatives positions, prompting some to sell assets to meet their obligations and resulting in an emergency purchase of gilts by the Bank of England. A similar dynamic of high volatility and high margin calls recently occurred in the energy markets too. It all means margin rules, practices and processes have been very much in the spotlight, and they're the focus for this episode of The Swap.
And this is what we've been needing. This is where all the hidden stuff has been gone. And it's all starting to be regulated. Overwatch, this is what we've needed. These banks are under so much pressure. We needed these banks to basically have to go, all right, we need to start either limiting our exposure in these contracts, which at that point, these hedge funds and all of these people are not going to be able to keep holding these positions and getting away with all this hidden stuff in the background. Now, when it comes to Phase 6 and everything in the timeline that we thought was going to happen. So when Phase 6 happened, you're going to have all these margins. The first thing you were going to start to see was those three banks that I've been talking about get fucked up. And you're starting to see it. You got UBS, Credit Suisse, and Deutsche Bank. Now, all three of these are having massive, massive problems. I've already showed you everything going on with these guys. Now, we'll break into these guys here for a second, actually, quick. Because now, you know, this all ends up coming back to it. So, before we get into this, the credit, if you look over at Credit Suisse, this is part of their K6 filing. And one of the things that it says here is, to the extent that we have sold assets that we do not own, or have net short positions in any of those markets, an upturn in those markets could expose to those potentially significant losses as we attempt to cover our net short positions by acquiring assets in rising markets. This is in their filing. Like, everyone knows they're fucked. And then they had to go over and do what they did in 2008. And they went over and they got Saudi backing. It's actually very funny. If you come down here and look, the people that backed them instantly, if you read this, lost $7 billion over the deal because people are walking away. They're like, get the hell out of here. They're losing money. Everybody's losing money trying to save and bail out these people. And every one of them are going, oh, it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Well, if you guys keep down reading this, it talks about how basically more and more Saudi other people are going to keep trying to come in and taking rights and getting shares of this company to where it's going to be owned pretty much. I mean, they're going to be owning, where was it? They were going to be about 10%. I mean, there was another people. So it's like they're going to have about 20% owned from Saudi people just to try to stay afloat. And I mean, this isn't going to work. It didn't work back then. It's not going to work now. There's no saving this. This is so ridiculous. It's retarded. If you think about it, think about fiat currencies before we keep getting into the timeline. Fiat currency, it's backed by a country and the government and all of this. Well, all of these governments and countries are in debt. They're in so much debt right now. It's insane. We'll get into that in a minute here, but how can you have all of this money, all this currency backed basically by what is backing it? Oh, debt. Governments in massive amounts of debt. 31 trillion for the United States. 23 trillion is owed to you. As we went over, it's owed to the public, it's owed to pension funds, it's owed to insurance companies. I don't want to keep getting into the same things. Now, at this point with phase 6, what we're going to talk about with these banks. Once you saw these banks getting fucked up, you're going to start seeing the market bleed. And you're seeing that now. Why? Because you're going to see liquidation across the board. On top of that, we talked about how these banks, you're going to start to see them selling off assets. Now, the way we'll make the timeline very easy. Let's make the timeline as we keep going and learning here. So the first thing we have phase 6. Next thing you got banks selling assets. After that, you got blood red market. Why? Because as we went into, they're going to have to start to liquidate. I'm not going to go ahead and make this too whatever. We're going to have to go into here. But as we went into, you're going to start to see liquidation. On top of that, we went over how you're going to start seeing what happened in the UK. We had the Treasury market not even a month ago, ask, do we need the central banks? Do we need to start buying back treasuries? Is it going to put too much pressure on the pension funds? The next thing we said is watch pension funds. Why? Because you're going to keep seeing rates go up. And you're going to keep seeing rates rise. Now, when the rates keep going up in the Treasury, with phase 6, it makes your collateral have to go up. It makes your margin requirements have to go up. Because what it does is it makes it a riskier trade. Exactly what he was talking about in that video clip I just played. Now, Isda comes out and says the importance of having significant liquidity to meet margin requirements was brought into sharp focus in late September, right after phase 6, when a sell-off of the UK guilds left UK pension schemes facing huge margin calls. This is exactly what I was talking about. It's going to start happening in the United States. The more that this goes up, the more pressure goes on them because it's a riskier trade to hold those bonds. Because obviously, that means your debt's higher. It means that we're going to get into right now. Look at this quick before I keep going. Where is it? The United States. And this is why we talk about hyperinflation coming and how inflation's nowhere. It's not going to leave anytime soon. We're going to get into why it's not going anywhere. But look at this. U.S. debt, federal interest payments could soon exceed military spending, you guys. This is freaking insane. You're spending more on just maintaining debt and trying to get people to come on in then you're spending on your own military. It's not sustainable. Like I said, the shit it can't keep going. You can't keep printing. On top of that, as we were talking about, all this in a minute, with the Federal Reserve, the feds are on pace to lose up to $180 billion. Now, when we talked to Peter Hahn, his opinion was that the feds don't care. Why? Because the feds can keep on printing money, and they're going to just keep printing that off, and they don't really care when they lose money because they can create it. Well, at the same time, that means you're going to keep making inflation because you're continuously creating money. Why? To cover your own debts. This is why I'm saying at this point, what is the purpose of the Federal Reserve? They're here to just continuously make us pay forever, have inflation forever. What is the purpose of this? Every single time they talk about, United States debt isn't that big of a deal. That's all they talk about over and over and over. Why? Because it's the rich needing to pay us back. They'll no longer be rich. They might need to sell some stuff, and they cannot have that. This is literally unbelievable. Go and post this link here in the chat, but it's like, what is happening is not, it can't keep going. You have everybody's liquidity drying up. You look over, you're seeing these companies downgrade everywhere. On top of that, if you guys don't remember, just a little bit ago, Wales posted it. I could say, for the first time, they were showing, for the first time, you have downgrades outpacing upgrades. It's happening over and over. I should have pulled that up. I knew I should have pulled that one up. All these companies, they're getting downgraded across the board because they've all been running on fucking credit. Well, nobody has assets to back this credit up. There is now requirements across the board coming in. You have to start to sit there and make sure, hey, we're going to keep you in check. You need to get this stuff handled because you're hurting the entire world. Good. Go fuck yourselves. I'm glad these banks are having all these problems. And on top of that, people sit there and they go, oh man, the next thing I was talking about right here in my timeline that we put up. What the hell's my thing? Sorry. So, you're going to start to see problems with pensions. Watch the pensions. You're going to see rates continue to rise because the feds have no choice. By doing this, I was going to, like I said, what's going to happen next? By doing this, you will kill your housing market. Prices are going to start to fall. Now watch this. Raising rates, raising rates, raising rates. Wall Street major Morgan Stanley, this is just today, is expected to start a fresh new round of global cuts in the coming weeks, as its deal-making business takes a massive hit in inflation and economic turndown. Breaking. Yesterday, Wells Fargo prepares widespread layoffs for mortgage bankers. Their mortgage volumes are down 90%. They're getting fucked. Now, I'm just going to show you this in my area because this is where I live. I don't care if anyone knows where I live. This is just by me. So I'm just going to, the realtor.com. You can go to whatever you want. Do this for yourself too. Don't just take my word for this. But go on there. You're seeing housing decline across the board. Now, what's that going to do? As we went over, the feds have what? $2.8 trillion in mortgage-backed securities. Well, guess what? They bought these all at the high because they were bailing out banks. They were doing silent bailouts for the banks. So, every time they would have had these defaults, they went in and bought up all the fucking mortgage-backed securities that would have been defaulted on. So, what's that mean? The feds are now going to take another hit when the housing market drops. Now, watch this. Like I said, I'm just going to do this wherever you want to do. Just go whatever town, boom. Go to lowest price. And then just scroll down a little bit. Now, these don't count. They're apartments. They're not going to go anywhere. Who cares about that shit? Townhouses. 5K drops, not that bad. 5K drop, 7K drop, 10K drop, 10K drop, 10K drop, $26,000 drop, $6,000 drop, $19,000 drop, $6,000 drop, 8,000, 25,000, 25,000, 8,000, 10K, 20,000. It's not like these are small drops. You're dropping the price 20K. So now the feds are going to take a harder hit here in the housing market. They're going to be losing more money. So let me ask you this. As we've went over for a while, the feds have been the thing propping this up. They've been holding it through all this stuff I've been showing you. The reverse repos, those loans. We've been showing you with the mortgage-backed securities. Man, I can't remember everything right now. I had so many different things pulled up. But there was about 4 other ways that they were sitting there propped. A plunge protection team. I'll keep remembering more and more as we go. But they're sitting there doing every possible thing that they can. But in the process of bailing out Wall Street, the feds they're just losing money and they're tapped themselves out. They're fucking broke as shit. They're losing an insane amount of money. And this is my point. We're going to have to bail out the feds almost at this point, it seems like, because they're going to, and we're doing that with inflation, because they're going to keep printing and printing and printing to make up these losses. And it's at this point of such a joke, we're bailing out all of these people over and over and over. Politicians are just stealing. Everybody is doing, like I said, it's unsustainable. Everything's been taken. And I'm going to show you why they're doing this and what's going on, but we're going to get back into the timeline. So, your housing market's going to crash. Well, on top of that, what's the next thing? I've been showing you guys this for a while now. Your bond market's going to crash. Bonds are having the worst performance they've had in a long... And it was like the fourth worst in history for a period. They're getting shattered. And these rates aren't going to help them. This is why I'm saying bond market will go down. This is the timeline. You're seeing it in the background. I've been showing you guys this for the last couple of months. Just relax. Here's your timeline. And when it gets to the end, I don't see what more that they can do other than this one thing. This is the only thing I can see them trying. Your bond market's going to crash. Now, I want to show you guys this real quick. Von Graeger, 2.5 quadrillion disaster waiting to happen. This was written 2 days ago. God damn it. This was written 2 days ago, okay? This guy stores gold for clients at the biggest private gold vault in the world. He says the risk in the global markets has never been this high. Now listen, it's almost like he watches the stream. Credit has increased dramatically through derivatives. All instruments being used now by banks, pension funds, stock funds, it's all synthetic. It's all, what do I tell you? Their favorite word, liquidity. What is liquidity? It is temporary value until, I would say, real value may be discovered. Now, at the same time, I should say may or may not. Because as we know, they can do FTDs to create liquidity. So you're telling me you can sell me a fake stock, never give me it, but it's cool because it's to create liquidity. Fuck off, market makers. We're the liquidity fairies. We can create fake stuff and sell it to you. Just like we went over with Credit Suisse. To the extent that we sold assets that we do not own or have net short positions. In any of these markets, an upturn in those markets could expose us to potential significant losses. as we attempt to cover our net short positions by acquiring assets. Good fucking luck. Everyone backing these guys is losing money. Nobody's falling for this stuff. People are waking up. This is why we need to continuously educate. The more we wake up, the more that we can put people to get their exposure out of the derivatives market. Every penny we pull out of this $2.5 trillion market, it will destroy them. There's no real underlying payments in almost or anything almost. There's no real underlying payments, in almost anything. Why? Because of what I showed you. What do we call it? Credit support annexes. Credit support annexes made it to where I don't have to pay you. I just have to show you that I can pay you. Which is why I say there's no real underlying payments. It's just, I have the ability to pay you, and let me give you the borrow fees every once in a while. Oh, perfect. My estimates for derivative would be at least 2 quadrillion. And I think that's probably conservative. Then on top of that, we have a debt of 300 trillion. We also have a couple hundred trillion unfunded liabilities. So we're talking around 2.5 quadrillion. Been saying 2.5 quadrillion for what, 8 months now around? There's a disaster waiting to happen. Why? Because all this money that has been created is not creating any value whatsoever. All it's doing is going into individuals' pockets. It's going into the elite. Well, guess what? The elite don't spend it. They hoard it. So guess what? All it's doing is killing your economy every day by making more. What value does that bring? Nothing. It doesn't bring value. It hurts you. Money is now destroying economies. Your governments are destroying it. Commercial banks are destroying it. I always knew this would collapse. And guess what banks are doing? Oh, that's right. Banks are stocking up on gold. Why are banks stocking up on gold? Because they know that fiat currencies are fucked. And when they get fucked, who owns gold controls fucking everything still. So, back to this guy. I always knew this was a collapse. It's taken longer than I expected. It's taken longer than I expected. Everything I've been showing you guys up to a T. These fucking guys know it too. They're saying it with me. But I think we're at the end of a major era. These derivatives at some point in the coming few years, which I don't even think that will be the coming few years, because you're seeing it already. The Treasury's like, do we got to do buybacks? Do we got to buy back these bonds? What are we going to do? Central banks will have to cover these outstanding liabilities. Central banks will have to cover all these outstanding liabilities of the commercial banks, as we are now seeing with Credit Suisse and Bank of England. This is going to happen across the board, and this is what I've been telling you guys. This is your fucking MOASS. This is your MOASS. It's the derivatives market. It's not this shit you guys watch. It's not these fucking pennies you're watching on the stock market. It's this. This is your MOASS. Hold the short positions that these guys fucking have to hold. And guess what? These central banks will have to cover all outstanding liabilities. And when that time happens, holy fuck if you're holding the right thing. Where is the money coming from MOASS? The 2.8 or the 2.5 quadrillion. This is where it is. All these bankers didn't learn from 2008. They stole more. They stole fucking more. That's all they did. That money, and then they bought islands. They bought fucking mansions, supercars. 50 of them. And then and it's just thrown away. They don't care. This needs to be, it all needs to go. It needs to be sold off. You need to liquidate assets. As I've been saying, they have no choice. You have no choice. Think about it. You have no choice but to MOASS. Or do this one thing that we'll go over next. Before we go over that, you have no choice but to MOASS. Why? You have the 1% now basically holds the entire piece of the pie. This amount is too poor to put any money back into the economy, And these douchebags who own the whole piece of the pie, they don't bother putting it back into the economy. They put it into their bank accounts. Your middle class is dying from inflation. Your middle class is getting taxed to death. Your middle class is barely able to stay afloat. They're living paycheck. Well, I don't know why that made an extra P or B there. They're living paycheck to paycheck. I really do need to get a pen. I don't know why. Your middle class is dead. It's gone. And guess what? When your middle class is gone, you're all these super elite corporations, these businesses, guess what? They start to suffer because nobody's spending money at their businesses. Well, now guess what? The 1% is losing a lot of what we call credit. And all these guys say, I don't care about money. Credit's more important. Well, credit needs collateral. When your businesses and you sit there and have the ability to borrow, it's because your money, your number one source of money is all these corporations. And they're taking hits. Like I said, it's trickle-down economics can't work. You're continuously fucked up here, and you need this to be the biggest class to thrive. Now, this guy's talking about, like he said, that there's no way. I don't want to keep going too much down into this. Like I said here, everybody, I'm going to put this in the chat. But read this article, read this stuff, you guys. Like, listen to this interview. I don't want to listen to the whole thing, but like I said, listen to this interview. I mean, everything I've been talking about, this is exactly what's happening. And it's not because I'm making this shit up. It's because it's common sense when you look at how business works and how everything works. I mean, it's literally just common sense. If a dollar's backed by too much debt, and you continuously steal all the money in the world. I mean, it's just common sense. There's only so much money in the world. And if you have so many people taking so much of the pie and not putting it back in, what the fuck's going to happen? And then on top of that, you tax these guys more than you tax these guys. There's points where these guys don't even get taxed. We pay for their taxes. Why they just get more islands and print? What the fuck? How the hell do you think that can last? Like I said, it can't. There's no fucking way, dude. There's just no way. They're fucked. November 1st, they're fucking stocking up on gold. Now, timeline. This is where the timeline, I have two different timelines. Every single day, the bond market crashes. Every single day, the stock market crashes. They're losing collateral. And everyone sits here, and they sit there, and I sit here and listen to complaining. People that don't listen to my streams. People that sit there and don't pay attention to what's going on. Don't take the time to learn. I know all you guys, I'm not saying you guys. You guys sit there and listen to this and are like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about. They sit there and look at, oh man, my AMC position is down, blah, blah, blah. I'm fucking, Have you seen the rest of the market? I know a lot of people are first-time traders, and I know you guys got into the market right away, and it was a bull market, hard. And everyone's fucking, oh, everything's great, fuck yeah. This is the coolest thing ever, and we're making money across the board, blah, blah, blah. This is the fucking sweetest thing, and you expect that, and that's just not how it works. Welcome to a bear market. Welcome to the liquidation period. This is where we're at. Blood red. Liquidation, part 2 will start. I don't even feel like we're done or even close. Next part will be more liquidation, more assets sold. I feel like the market will go ahead and drop some more. Next, you need midterms. You need midterms. There will be no way in hell they will let this happen before midterms. There's no way in fucking hell this will happen before midterms. You need this to happen. I should have made my thing a little bit longer. Now, it can veer a couple different ways. Either, and this is the thing. This right here is massive. This is one of the things Randall Cornett brought to our attention, and this is a huge deal, you guys. A problem in Isda is you have so many countries have so many different regulations and so much stuff, and so many different changes and this and that and this and that and this and that, and all these guys have this excuse. Oh, we weren't up to date on rules. No, that's a huge update. Oh, we weren't up to date yet. You have to give us time now that we know the rules to catch up and blah blah blah. And there's all this stuff that they didn't know. Well, now there's going to be a central system that will make sure everybody's constantly up to date. There's going to be a system that will make sure that this excuse is gone. The derivatives market, this excuses, all this stuff, they're gone. They're done with it, guys. The whole fucking world is done with this shit. You guys think that people like that the dollar's this strong? You think the whole other world, the rest of the world's like, yeah, we love that the United States sits there and fucks us up the ass and we can't do shit about it. No, they wanted all the shit to come to an end too. Everybody, everyone's sitting there. It's not like this has been hidden away. Everybody's known about this shit. The problem is they couldn't do anything about it. We need to wake up, everybody. The more we wake up, the faster this timeline and all this stuff will start to move. Now, at this point, you could see there's going to be two ultimate goals. One, there will be, I'm not going to say ultimate goals. I will say this will be their ultimate goal. Here we go. Here also I'll say this. One will end in retail's ultimate goal. And one will, this is their ultimate goal of a MOASS. Okay, we'll call it the tug. Their ultimate goal. Retail's ultimate goal is, we get paid, they sell their assets. They start covering their bullshit. We start getting this money over here. Where the fuck is my circle? Man. Alright, whatever, I'll have to remake. Sorry, guys, I've been kind of sick, too. I know my voice is kind of weird today. I hurt my tooth. I broke my tooth on that sucker. So if I sound a little weird, it's because my voice or my tooth's a little fucked up still. So all this money over here that we were talking about on the 1% side, they need to start to sell it off and distribute it back here. That's literally the only way to keep the fiat currency and the current system and the current financial system in place. It's the only fucking way. It's the only way. These guys are going to have to suck it up, suck some dicks, and go, you know what? Might have to get some real-time jobs, or whatever you got to do. Fuck off. You've been rich and stealing long enough. It's time to fuck off. That either needs to come back, and you can keep this entire thing, or they're going to try and get their way, which is going to be CBDCs, which we'll get into in a minute. Now, my timeline's still here. After midterms, there's going to be a couple different things that's going to happen. This is where timelines can alter a little bit, and, there's a couple courses that I can see. Some of them will lead to this stupid-ass one, which, there's only, one way I see to do this, but I don't see this happening at all, and, people standing for it. I feel like this equals revolution. Their ultimate goal at this point leaves us nothing but no choice for anyone but fucking revolution if they do this shit. Peter Hahn talked about this. We're going to get into crypto in a second and all this when we talk about this. We're going to get into a lot of stuff here in a minute. But once midterms comes and goes, you're going to have a couple things happen. If enough people get woke up, if enough people make noise in the midterms, this is why I talked to you guys about this. Make noise. Your votes, I know everybody hears, oh, votes matter, blah, blah. Seriously, your fucking votes matter this time. Follow the money. These fuckers that are up there just, oh, fuck, corporations are the greatest things. Give them hand jobbers in the back. You got people on their knees for these dudes. Fuck them. Get them out. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if they've done a couple of things you've liked. That's like them saying, here, have a couple crumbs while I take the fucking sandwich. Fuck them. They got to go, guys. You got to get rid of red and blue. You got to see what's going on. Follow all the shit. Follow what they're doing and what they're really doing. Not what they're saying, what they've done. Look at what they voted in the past. It all fucking matters, dude. This matters big time. What happens at midterms will change a lot of things. I fucking hate politicians. Y'all know that. I fucking hate politicians. But there's no denying they've been involved and this will have an outcome. Now, after midterms, depending on who wins, I could see the blame game going on. You're already starting to see this. Now, one of the things I want to show everybody, before we get into all this crazy shit, before we get into that crazy shit, well, they already talked about the feds. Like I said, feds could lose up to 180 billion if they keep raising rates. Well, feds rate hikes to the highest since January 2008, and that was the same day that was written. They're going to keep going. So, well, that's definitely, like I said, there's so much stuff mounting and mounting and mounting up. These guys are so fucked. We're going to get into the, one second here. Where the hell is it? Did I really close the damn thing? See, I have too many damn tabs open all the time. Whatever. Whatever. God damn it, no, that's my train of thought. Smoking too much here. That's funny. So after midterms, I was going to look for the thing that said these hedge fund thing. I don't know what the hell I did with it. Whatever, I'll put it up. I know it's, oh, it's on my face, or my Twitter here. I don't have a fucking Facebook. This major hedge funds, and they talk about, this is a major hedge fund, you guys. They manage $58 trillion, or billion, not trillion, sorry, $58 billion. And one of the things people I wanted you to know, and like we talked about, in the timeline, you're going to see the blame game. Now, this would be used by the banks. This will be used by pensions. This will be used by hedge funds. Now, what you're already seeing is these hedge funds are already saying, oh, it's these central banks. All of this stuff, it's their fault. They're basically saying everything we've been saying. They haven't been following the rules and blah, blah, blah. And why are they saying that? Because phase 6, they managed $58 billion. They're now getting margined because they were hitting phase 6 or phase 5. Well, the problem when phase 5 happened, there was no margins. Why? Because of the COVID exemption. So, these people that were at phase 5, guess what? They're now getting hit with the same exact thing. Well, phase 6 is for people that are managing 8 to 50 billion. So these guys are right in the margin requirements. And guess what? Now they're sitting there going, hey, it's all these fucking banks, guys. It's these banks. I'm not going to look at this stupid crap. It's the central bankers. They've been dishonest. We know they've been dishonest, you piece of trashes. We've been saying it forever. Now you're going to have the finger point game. Because the people that are going to get fucked and ate up is what we were waiting on. You're going to have the blame game. You're going to have an Archegos situation. And at some point in this timeline, if it all goes according to plan, you're going to have my huge bomb. My huge bomb. And you're going to see a family office explode again. You're going to see another Archegos. You're going to see it happen. And this is one of the bombs that I think. On top of that, the other bomb that me and Peter Hahn believes could be another huge bomb is these pension funds. Watch the pension funds. This matters. A couple of these go under. If margin requirements happen, if the treasury market keeps getting fucked the way that it's getting, there is no demand. The rates are going up. It's going to be harder and harder for them to pay it back. As we just went over, their debt's about to exceed the freaking national defense. They're fucked, you guys. And when it comes to family offices, why we talk about these things. Family office members confess. This is in the Archegos case. We executed trades that allowed funds to amass market power in certain securities traded on U.S. exchanges. Archegos used security-based swaps to gain exposure to these securities while concealing their true size of the fund's positions. from the market and our trading counterparties. Once Archegos gains market power in these securities, I and others use the power to trade in such a way to artificially manipulate the prices of those securities. They're doing all of this in the background. It's all where we can't see this. It's all in the OTC market, but on top of that, it's all in the derivatives market. A couple of these, like I was showing you, they have what are called total return swaps. It is where they're able to basically show that they own the underlying asset of a security without actually buying or purchasing that security. All right, here you go. Total derivatives known as total return swaps. These actually swaps allow them to obtain synthetic leverage exposure to the underlying security without actually owning them. That's all is what's going to have these breakdowns. Other people are asking, you know, with the, Ortex data, what could have happened? Why did it blow up? It could have been something as simple as this in the background. One of these Isda contracts expired. Now, next, so you're going to have the blame game. Now, after this, you're going to have right here, at this point, you're going to have a family office explode. Hold on, I lost my frickin'... Oh yeah, here we go. So the next thing you're going to see, and if this happens, this is when retail wins. And this is where I think is going to be the bomb. This is where I think it is game over. This is my push all button. And I don't see how much longer after this, when these certain things start happening, the spiral effect will be so great, I cannot see it happening any longer. This is my ultimate phase 6 bomb. Holy crap. It's so see, it blew up my fucking screen. It was so big. My phase 6 bomb. There's a grandfathered in rule. And I can't tell you when this bomb is going to explode, but I can tell you when it explodes and when it starts boom, 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 boom. It's going to be so many bombs blowing up. This is what will lead, in my eyes, to the family office explosion. Citadel, if you guys remember, took out 8 Isda contracts. 6 days before, or I'm sorry, 6 to 2 days before phase 6. Why? Because they needed to make sure that they got the grandfathered in rule. When this expires on contracts, this is my bomb. You're going to have Isda contracts expire, and when this happens, what now is going to happen is every one of these new master agreements will have to take place. Okay? When these take place, there will no longer be a credit support annex attached to them. They will now need to deposit collateral to open the new contract to hide their positions. This is why you have these guys saying, hey, make sure you have your liquidity, Matt. You got to get this stuff going. If you don't look at Isda, they really don't post all that much. I guess they've been posting like crazy lately. Before that, they really haven't. Well, I guess they haven't because they had a lot of meetings in this last couple things. But like I said, man, this stuff is what matters, dude. I wanted people to. I watched this swap thing. If you guys want to learn more about this stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and post that link here at the end of this. God damn it! I knew I was gonna go back one too many times. Well, let me just hit up that thing. But like I said, this is the shit that's going to have the ripple effect. This is going to have the bombs. It's going to be when these grandfathered in Isda contracts explode. And now they need to start depositing money they don't have. Now you will have pension fund. You'll either have a pension fund. Where the hell's my timeline? You're either going to have pension funds explode because their contracts will expire. On top of that, you have rates going up, which means they will need more collateral, and they won't be able to pay that. You have a family office that we don't know about that will have more exposure, that has been hiding it back in the background, that only had the credit support annex, like the Archegos case here that we just went over. Too many damn tabs, man. Oh yeah, like we just went over right here with the Archegos. This is how they're able to, you know, like I said, avoid margins, get around these things, hide their synthetics, gain leverage. All of this will be, it'll go away. It will now be overseen by people that fucking hate us. So then you'll have this explosion or this explosion. And at that point, retail will, that is how I feel retail gets their MOASS. Because at that point, you will have a margin call, a derivatives margin call. You will have a derivatives margin. And you will have what he says here. You will have central banks will have to cover all outstanding liabilities that we are seeing now. There is your MOASS, my friends. This is my timeline. I can't give you dates. I can give you events to look for. So when people ask me, what is my timeline? What is this? Blah, blah, blah. This is my timeline for how I feel MOASS will need to take place, or events that need to take place right before it to happen. CBDCs. Let's get to their ultimate goal. 90% of world central banks are exploring CBDCs. A new annual economic report published by the Bank of BIS, the financial institutions, revealed that approximately 90% of central banks worldwide are investigating the feasibility of adopting central bank digital currencies. Now, India just officially launched theirs CBDC pilot. Turkey has the CBDC coming to you attached to your digital ID. Canada, they're pushing digital IDs, opening bank accounts, and they like they like CBDCs up there. Everyone in charge, like everyone in charge. You got the UK now. You got basically CBDCs are going to be what they want more than anything. It's going to be their way to try and push some of this bad debt, this bad junk, any way they can. They're going to try any way that they can to prop it up and do a slow death. This will be the way they want to do it. They're going to see the market keep bleeding because they're going to have to liquidate. But what they're going to do is they're going to want to make it a slow liquidation. They're going to want to make it so they can keep liquidating, hitting margin. Liquidate, hitting margin. Liquidate, try and open new contracts. Try and open new contracts. But at the end of the day, if retail doesn't sell, how is the game played? They still need retail to sell to pay everyone else. They still need you to buy their bad debt, their bad junk, their bad bonds, and nobody's buying it now. People are educated. No one's getting their shit. They have their own fucking bags for once, and that's what we need. We need them to hold their bags and get called and no fucking way out. The government and all this shit can no longer help them. Now, they want to sit there and try and make a slow bleed, and try and get these CBDCs going in. If you guys look here, the other day, we talked about the Feds going off and how the Feds now actually look at, talked about CBDCs. And one of the things I wanted to talk about,
of if we were to pursue a CBDC, it would at a minimum have the following four characteristics. First is intermediated. Second is privacy protected. But third is identity verified. So it would not be anonymous. It would not be an anonymous bearer instrument. And fourth is transferable or interoperable. So we would be looking to balance privacy protection with identity verification, which has to be done, of course, in today's traditional banking system.
So it's not like they're not talking about it. What they would want to do is be able to slow it down to where they could hold it off long enough to maybe get CBDCs in. Migrate some of that risk over to those CBDCs. Maybe even pay us in CBDCs and say it's a matter of national security. Now, one of the things that I wanted to show you here is right here. Chief Lazard says she does not like to see a new period of free banking due to cryptocurrencies. They fucking hate cryptocurrencies. It's free banking. CBDCs are required to maintain the role of central banks. We need the people that have destroyed everything in the financial system. We need them to maintain their role. It's fucking critical. Why would we want you guys to maintain your roles in the systems? Fuck off. Not only that, this is all programmable, as we said. So their ultimate goal would be to hold it off, maybe pay us in CBDCs. Why? Because if they could do that, they can limit where we can spend it, where. So they can make it to where we only do it into their financial sectors, or in financial sectors that are hurting, such as the housing market, things like that, where their bags are. They can now program the amount of time we have to spend it. If we don't use it, they can get rid of it. So what's that do? It keeps us in a social class still, which is always their ultimate goal. Why does it keep us in a social class? Because it's not like you could save that money. You need to now go out and spend it on assets, or you'll lose it. So in a way, if they can control what you can spend it on, they can control the assets, the value of the assets that you can now go purchase to keep you in, also in that, social class as well. This would be their ultimate goal. This is one of the reasons why they keep talking about it. Because all fiat currencies are so fucked. Like I said, the dollar is backed by a government that is in $31 trillion in debt. The dollar is now backed by a government that is paying more in interest to maintain their own financial system pretty soon here than they spend on defending themselves. Think of how fucked up that is. But yet the dollar is still the most dominant thing in the world. So what's that tell you about all the other governments' fiat currencies? Oh, they're pretty much fucking worthless. It's monopoly money. But like I said, there's nothing they can do. Retail keeps buying. Retail keeps holding. This timeline, they can't stop this fucking timeline. They can't. Too many eyes are involved. Too many banks are involved. Too many countries are involved. Too much stuff is going on to the point where it's getting too damn hard for these guys to trade and hide these things. And yeah, they can sit there and do it through the shell companies, but guess what? They're doing those through Isda, which are now going to be watched. So it's getting harder and harder for them to do that. So like I said, guys, just be patient. Don't watch the pennies. Don't watch that. You're in a bear market. Guess what? Everybody's dying off. Everything's going off. This is a great. I mean, I can't tell you don't know to buy, but this is a good. Dip periods are always a good time to buy when things are dipping. Get them at the low. You don't think things are gonna recover? Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. And that's why I say meme stocks are. Look where the money might transfer. I mean, I can't tell you exactly where to go, what to buy, but like I said, guys, everything's going exactly how the timeline was, drawn out. Just relax, grab a bag, new mega bag popcorn, and just enjoy the show, man. Like I said, they're doing layoffs left and right. Watch what they're doing. Watch what they're doing, not what they're saying. Watch what they're doing, not what they're saying. Alright, I'm going to take questions for about 10 minutes here quick, and then I got to go, my friends. I got to get ready here. I got to get up at 4 in the morning. I got a client coming into the office tomorrow, so But I just wanted to put a video out. I know I haven't done it in a while, and I mean, one, I missed you guys, and two, I know a lot of people are just kind of like, what's going on here? I just like to keep everybody updated on, what's going on in the background, and just, there's nothing to really worry about. I mean, everybody, that's the thing. Everybody that went out and chasing the thing, and this is what I keep telling you guys. Everybody's so worrying about red. Here's the thing. If people spend as much time learning how to play the downside, averaging down, doing other things, as they spent about complaining about 35 cents, watching a line, watching somebody else watch a line, asking them for advice. If they learned how to play that in the down, I mean, think of how much more money you guys would have and how much better off we would be. Learn the system. Do the DD, you guys. Always learn what they're doing. In the end of the day, one thing I always learned. You can never have enough life skills. If you learn what they're doing now, maybe you'll learn DD. Maybe they always lead. Every skill leads to another skill, leads to new intrigue, leads to something. More education. More education is never bad. Life skills are never bad. Google's at your fingertip. You have more accessibility to knowledge than you could ever dream of. You don't need to go to college. Why? You can fucking figure everything out at the tip of your fingers with a 10-second, 20-second YouTube video. How do you fix your car? Find out on a YouTube video. You can watch somebody literally do it step by step and pause it. So guys, the thing is we have so many abilities. So many people are so lazy to go ahead and figure out these, figure out how to do it, or just take the time to watch it. Just sent 3 DMs. Check them out here in a second, my friend. Average, I'll check that out in a second here. I just want to answer some questions. What will it be this time? 12, 20 bucks. Oh, Reed. You're silly. Like I said, I love everyone who doubts it, man. It's like, what I think about is everybody who crybabies or says, oh man, it's not going to happen. I feel like they're the bankers laughing at fucking the dude in The Big Short when he was going over there and opening up Isda contracts on the swaps. You guys remember the word swaps in The Big Short that Christian Bale was opening? I feel like that's exactly what I feel like. I feel like Christian Bale just laughing at him. Yep. Go ahead and laugh there, little banker. Go ahead and laugh there, idiot. We'll see. I mean, my first kid bigums. I love that, man. Grandpa, how you doing, buddy? I've missed you, my friend. It's been a while. Damn, it's storming out pretty good. Oh, and for everybody who sits there and, all these fucking YouTube douchebags. Oh my god, he turns on super chats. You know what, guys? I fucking teach you guys not to give me super chats unless you learn shit. I don't sit there and beg and cry and scream for them like all these other fucking losers. I teach you guys not to give them. So when at the end of my videos, don't worry, YouTubers, I make a whole 40 bucks in super chats. Oh my god. Fucking love it, dude. This guy, this froggy retard. Oh my god, he's turned on us because he takes 300 a month in super chats. And 150 of it's from fucking grandpa every time anyways. Fucking love it, dude. Oh, I love the fucking crybabies. Man, I've been buying the shit out of Ape. I've been buying the shit out of fucking AMC. I'm loving these prices. I'll sit there. I'll wait for this bear market to end. I'll wait for the shit to bleed. Like I said, at the end of the day, it's either MOASS or, I mean, like I said, there's really no way out for them at this point. There's just too many eyes going on it. Yeah, I can hear it downpouring now. I have my window open. It's fucking... Murphy's like, what the hell? He's running around right now. He's going crazy. We haven't had a big storm yet, I don't think. Yeah, you think somebody's here. It's so funny. See? Grandpa, you're fucking crazy, man. Thank you, buddy. Like I said, all my super chats, 98% of the time are fucking Grandpa Barney, man. So, if you want to cry about Grandpa Froggy, go ahead. Don't care. One thing I've learned, and it's changed my life, I literally just block everyone that crybabies on fucking Twitter now at this point. It's like, dude, If you're not gonna sit there and take the time to learn, and you're just gonna cry about it every time that you talk to me at every point, like, what the fuck are we doing here, dude? And then these people, oh, lose the greatest thing. Well, guess what? How's GTII doing? Oh, just like the rest of the market, fucking bleeding. Like I said, just relax, y'all. Just relax. And Barney, man, I gotta get you something, buddy. I gotta get you something for sure. I'm definitely gonna get you something, my friend. Exactly, man. You can learn to put, do anything you guys put your mind to. It takes time, man. It takes 10 minutes, and that's the thing. It just takes 10 minutes to learn nowadays. But you know how we're gonna have to end it out. You know how we're gonna have to end it out. We gotta put out the Mac Coors fanny pack. Phil for real, man. And that's the thing. I got the same 4 people. Hey, buddy, Guy, or I don't really know how to say your name yet, buddy. It's Godelkin. I hope I said that right, buddy. Appreciate that. Murphy always appreciates that. Every time you give me that $20, I go give him a squeaker, dude. He loves y'all, man. I love y'all. But we're gonna finish it off with one clean Matt Coors fanny pack.
No wonder Tyler Kistner is celebrating. He's getting campaign support from Big Pharma and other Washington special interests. In Congress, he'll fight for them, not us. Tyler Kistner is running for Congress to help the rich get richer. He doesn't deserve our vote.
Yeah, Coors Light. You know what it is. Haha. Moon Gang. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? Yeah. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Baby. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? Yeah. LT Gray, get into the money. Yeah. I got adjustable straps, right size, a small pocket on the inside. Yeah, I know you like that. That's right. You can go to a festival. Yeah. Or even vacation. Or be like me. Just keep your hands free. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. $30.99. Yeah, you can look so fine. Yeah, you can look so mean. Yeah, in your new mom jeans. Yeah, water resistant. Yeah, got top zippers. Yeah, with 2 sliders. It's customizable. Yeah. Wow. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? Yep. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. I do. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? Yeah. Don't you want to sell your shares? Yep. Don't you want to subscribe? I do. Yeah. Don't you want to spin it on me right now? Super chat. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? I do. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? Yep. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. I do. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Yeah. LT Gray, Coors Light. Yeah. You know what it is. Yeah. Guys, don't forget to click and subscribe. Better. This song was also sponsored by the bartender. Yeah. So make sure you tip the bartender. We got something going on. I need that money. I just want a Matt Coors fanny pack. Don't you want a Matt Coors fanny pack? Yeah. Come and get the joggers. Don't you like the Matt Coors LT Gray joggers? Yeah.
Yeah, David, I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head, buddy. Yeah, like I said, just comment at the end of this video. Just say Bigums or something, and then I'll check on that and get back to you on if they're doing rolling into December. I'm not too sure, buddy. All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening. Appreciate it as always. Hope you guys have a good night.